We need the combination of hyper-nourishment, adding what you're missing, right? And stop getting sicker. There are some people who are able to just add what they're missing and get an amazing recovery, right? If you remember the case study, it's in Goodbye Autoimmune Disease. It's also in my classes, the case study with David. He initially did not give up meat completely. He ate meat once a week, but he gave up dairy, butter, milk, all that stuff. And he started doing a gallon of water a day, and he was doing his big blender of smoothies a day. You know, so he did the protocol plus occasional meat, and he went into full remission. He still had positive labs. He still required medication, but he went into remission, which is fantastic, right? He looked good, he felt good. When he finally, 2 years later, he finally decided to give up meat, all of his labs went back to normal, and he got off meds within 2 weeks of making that decision. So that's why when you look at people who say, oh, I did a paleo program where I eat lots of vegetables and I'm doing the smoothies, but I still eat some meat and my symptoms went away, it's not because of the meat. It's in spite of the meat because they're getting so nourished, right? So for some people, just adding what they're missing, they can go into a remission. Not as good as it would be if they gave up the meat, but maybe good enough where they feel pretty happy with what they did. Fantastic. For other people, that's not enough. And for those of us who have massive forest fires, you know, like I had pretty bad lupus for 12 years when I did this. So I had a lot of damage that had been done over time. We need the combination of hyper-nourishment, adding what you're missing, right? And stop getting sicker, right? So I was eating tons of, like I would come home from the hospital and like eat a big thing of Gouda cheese from Costco, like the giant things, and just eat that, right? So I had a major dairy addiction. I ate eggs and dairy every day, often twice a day for eggs. Sometimes I'd have it for breakfast and dinner. So I had a pretty bad addiction, which is why I had an unhealthy vegetarian diet because I ate so much eggs and dairy. Anyway, for many of us, the combination of adding what we're missing and stop getting sicker works just fine, which makes sense, right? If you want to get healthier, why get sicker at the same time? Doesn't make sense. Get rid of the animal products and doing high amounts of the raw foods and adding a little bit of cooked food. That is at what I call faster recovery. So it's not rapid recovery, but faster recovery would be 75, 80% of your diet comes from the salads and the smoothies and all the things that actually help you get your health back. And 25% of your diet comes from cooked food, kind of like what I do for maintenance, right? Exactly what I do for maintenance. So for some people, that works really well. I've been tagged by a couple of YouTubers who I've never met who did my program and blogged about it on YouTube. And they did that. They had like a little bit of potato or something like that, and they fully reversed their illnesses. Fabulous. Then there's those folks who do not get full recovery or significant change until they go all in. And people do rapid recovery with me where food is only medicine and nothing else. They either do it because they've got some serious illness that cannot wait, organ failure, severe pain. They do it because they don't want it to take too long. I'm originally from New York. We're not patient people. We want to get things done as quickly as possible, right? So people like me who just want to get it over with, like I'd rather do it strict and shorter than longer, right? That's why. Or it's people who tried to do it part way, like hyper-nourishment plus other cooked foods, and just didn't really get their disease to go away. Then they do it with me. Like I had somebody in this last group who did an appointment with me. I gave her the plan. She couldn't stick to it very well on her own. She thought she was doing it right, but she wasn't getting those results. She's fully recovered now, 0 symptoms after doing it in the group, which again, rapid recovery with me, I make sure you get it right. So she wasn't getting it right on her own. She needed it to be more extreme. She needed it to be supervised, and then she got all the way there. So what I would say is start where you're ready to start. As long as you start, all right, guys?